Hello, folks. I told you we'd be back on the ETU Coaches Show, and I brought an ASC champion head coach for women's basketball, Rusty Rainbolt. And if he's here, that means basketball season is just around the corner. Coach, thanks for coming once again and joining the ETU Coaches Show.
Hey, I am glad to be here. It's a good day.
Absolutely, Coach. And it's I've been waiting for this moment, for this part of the season for a long time. And it's here. It's upon us now. So just kind of talk to me about everything that has kind of geared you up for this moment. I mean, you guys are starting practices now, and you have a lot of new players joining your squad this year. So just kind of talk to us, catch us up to speed.
Man, it's been a good summer and a good fall semester. Honestly, we are so blessed and thankful to be where we're at. We had 15 players on our team last year, 3 seniors and 12 underclassmen. All 3 seniors are graduating and on track to get their degree. And we had 12 potential returners, and all 12 of them are back with us. And so we're so thankful to have 100% retention of our varsity team to come back. We've got 7 seniors this year. Great leadership, great experience. And then some really good key additions to our team. We love our freshman class, and we added 2 transfers that we really think are good players and great people, and so it's exciting. But I was actually telling our coaches today, we practiced this morning at 6 a.m. And then we've had individual skill work all day long, and we're fixing to go here in a minute again. And you sit for the whole summer and reflect on the year before and watch film and study, things and recruit and do all types of office stuff, and then you get here, school starts, and you sit for 8 straight weeks behind a computer or in your office because of the rules, or you can't do anything with your team, and it just kills you. And then this day gets here, and it's like I told them, I don't plan on spending a second in the office. And we really haven't. So it's been just an awesome day, and we're super excited. And so it's just a neat time of year for every basketball fan and basketball player and coach and team. But looking forward to this afternoon's practice.
Absolutely, and you guys I hate to be the guy to do this, but just to put everything in perspective, obviously the ASC tournament didn't end the way that you wanted it to. Just looking back at it, what's the biggest thing you kind of take from something like that? Because I know obviously when you guys came up just a little bit short in the semifinals, it kind of hit home for everyone on the team. So just kind of walk us through those emotions. What's the biggest thing you took as a head coach from that moment for you guys?
Well, that moment of losing in the conference tournament was tough because one, we had an amazing group of girls that had the best statistical record of any team that I know of at ETBU history. Best record season I've ever been a part of. We were 23-3 going into that game and lose that last game by 2 points or 1 point, whatever it was, with 1 second left in the game on a host team's home court, and to a team that went to the Sweet 16. It just shows how good we were and how close we were, but close isn't good enough for us. And that's a thing that we've talked about all summer and all fall, and in our meeting this morning is the goal this year has to be we've got to reach our potential. And if we lose to teams that are better than us, that's okay. But we've got to get every single ounce of effort and sacrifice and selflessness and commitment out of every one of our members of our team. We have 4 coaches and 2 student assistants, 3 student assistants, and a lot of players and SID staff and athletic training staff and administration, and everybody has to be on board for the same thing, to give everything they got selflessly and sacrificially, so that our team can be its best. And so that moment to lose was heartbreaking, but tests and trials can be the best lessons that we can ever have in our lifetime. And it's about perseverance to get through and what you learn from it and not better. So I'm excited to see what this group of girls does.
I love it, Coach. And I also love that you included our SID family in that as well.
Part of the family, man. Can't do it without you.
Yeah, absolutely, Coach. I love it. Thanks for. I definitely appreciate that. But you guys, looking at all the extra talent that you brought in to join in this team, how tough of it? Because we were just talking about it literally an hour ago. How the possibility of the different lineups you could use, who goes here, who starts and who finishes and that sort of thing. So is that the fun part or is that the most difficult part of your job as a coach and staff to figure that out?
Both. Both, honestly. We talked to our team about that in our first team meeting, and we told them, look around. Like, there's not a player in this room that doesn't have an amazing skill, an elite skill, and then there's just so much experience and talent. We've got, a freshman point guard that won 2 state championships for one of the best teams in the state of Texas as a freshman. But we've also got a returning point guard who came in last year, Taylor, and was pretty dang good. Led the league in steals, phenomenal assist-to-turnover ratio, and just super exceeded every expectation for her as a freshman. And then you've got your old dogs of Kendrick and Kim and Amanda back, our 3 leading scorers and statistical, leaders in all categories back. And so it's exciting, but for the first time ever in my career, we always talk about competition, but for the first time ever, I sat down with our 3 captains, and really I went to Kim Childress first, and I talked to her about this, and I said, Kim, I've got this idea. And I said, I think this year going into the season, we need to just tell everybody, you know what? We're opening every single position up. Like nobody, not that we ever guarantee anybody a spot, but Amanda Wilson has started at the center spot for 3 straight years. I imagine going into her senior year, she should have a great chance to start again. Kim Childress has been our best player for 2 years, and Kendrick Clark came in last year and was phenomenal, blew the doors off of the league in every way. And so, but I went to Kendrick and Kim and I said, hey, listen, I think this is what's best for the team. We need to open everything up, and everybody needs to know that there's nobody that's got a spot. Like, Kendrick, you two should be starting. Yeah, man, you should, but you got to earn it or you're not starting and you're not playing. And Kim goes, that's the way it ought to be. And so I think when you can coach your best players and you can communicate with your best players that way and say this is what's best for the team and they will buy in, I think the sky's the limit for our team. And the good thing is like Kim and Kendrick and Amanda, like, they're not just lip service, let's open it up. Like, they've been working their butts off as leaders and as players, and there's 2 separate roles. You can lead and you got to play too. But they've really done a good job to do both. And I think that's the neat thing about our team right now is nobody's got a spot. Everybody's working and earning it every single day moving forward. So.
And you kind of talked about the fact that in the off season, for the first 8 weeks, can't really have any communications with your team, can't really practice with your team, things like that. So how much have you kind of relied on those captains to kind of, keep everything, in shape for you guys, to kind of keep everyone mentally ready for the start of the season to this day,
Well, what is amazing about this team is like year 1 we came in and we brought in a whole new team with the exception of like 3 players, I believe it was. So everything was new to everybody. Year 2, we carried 12 players the first year, and we had a bunch of girls that graduated and didn't come back and all that. So year 2 was kind of the same. We had a whole new group with a few returners, but everything was just still so new. This year, we know what we have in terms of leadership, and we have spent a lot of time not talking basketball, talking leadership, talking personal growth, and trying to recognize what people's personal skills and talents are as a person, and identifying who's the vocal leader, who's the encourager, who's the reinforcer, who are the Chiefs, who are the Indians, how does that work in a family, how does that work according to the kingdom of God, how does that work in a business, and how do we fit it all together. So our girls have done a tremendous job this fall of establishing leadership and the way things go, whose voices get to be heard, whose voices don't get to be heard right now, and who have to be just kind of yes men and soldiers, and follow. And it's amazing to see what's transpired. But I have said it to Kendrick and Kayla Bice and Kim, our 3 captains, multiple times, like, you get 8 weeks to prepare your team. And the test of what you did in these last 8 weeks will show up for the rest of the season. So it's on you as senior captains and senior leaders. And so it's going to be fun to see, because I know those girls have invested so much and built so much in this team in the last 8 weeks. It's going to be neat to see where we're at.
Absolutely, Coach. And I know you got a practice to get to, but one more question for you before we close things out here. What is the biggest thing as you look at last year's team, you look at the team that's coming in this year, you look at all the preparation you guys are going to be doing heading into the season? what is the biggest thing you are looking for your team to do as far as growth? What is the biggest step you're looking for them to take this year that they kind of got close to last year, but you didn't quite see enough of?
Well, to answer that question, here's what I learned from last year is last year's team was the best group of girls I've ever coached. We had no drama. We had no off-the-court issues. We had no academic issues. Like, it was the easiest group of girls I've ever coached. I've never been in that situation. So because of that, there were never any days where I had to put them on the line and run them because of attitudes or body language or nobody got in trouble for, social stuff. We never had any adversity like that. So things went so smoothly all year long that I never felt like there was a reason to create adversity or punish them or anything like that. So what I look back on and I thought, what I realized is last year went so smooth, and we lost to 2 teams all year long who both were in the national tournament, pretty good teams. But everything was so smooth all year long that we never had the trials and testings of the fire and the adversity that it takes to make you your best. We were really good. I still feel like we were a top 5-6 team in the nation last year. But in the biggest moments, we did not have throughout the year the trials and the testings that made us sharp and gave us that edge. And we had a lot of bad luck from injuries too in key moments. But it's my job to prepare the team to the best of their ability. And so what I have taken this year, Don Meyer, one of the greatest basketball coaches of all time, he has 5 categories that make a great team. The number two thing he said is there has to be shared suffering. And so one of the things as I was studying the summer leadership and great leaders and how they prepare their people and get the most out of them is there has to be trials. There has to be adversity. So what I've talked to our team about is, like, we have to put extreme pressure on you every single day. And there's going to be times where things are going. We have just an amazing group of girls that love Jesus and love each other. They were actually saying it yesterday, like, they love each other so much. And so in my mind, I know they're not going to create adversity for themselves because they get along great and they're all hard workers and they're great people. I'm going to have to do it for them. I'm going to have to make days harder to create and shake it up. And there's going to be times where I'm just going to have to test them just for the sake of testing them so that we can find out what we're made of when the hard times come. And so the goal going into this season is, man, we want to continue to love Jesus, honor Jesus, give our best effort, hope that there's no real life adversity, because there's adversity and then there's real life adversity, you know what I'm talking about. But as a coach, how do I find ways to put our team in positions where they have to battle through and struggle a little bit so that they can find out what they're made of, and that's a good thing because we all have to go through that in life. So
Absolutely.
But, man, it's a wonderful time of year. This is an amazing university. We're in a great conference. Get to work with you guys every day. It's just a good thing.
Absolutely, Coach. Well, we will definitely be looking forward to seeing you guys take the court and do some great things this season for this program. And you can stay up to date with all things ETBU sports related, especially ETBU basketball that's coming just around the corner at goetbtigers.com, or follow us on social media at GoETBUTigers. Once again, Mark T. Robinson with head women's basketball coach Rusty Rainbolt. We'll see you guys again next time.